How was your day?
My day is busy. Busy.
How busy?
Very busy. So I started off in the morning by saying my prayers, because priests always have to say prayers. And then I had to get ready for Mass, so 8:30. And after that, I have another Mass, a funeral Mass. And after that, I have a 1 o'clock meeting with parishioners and friends, benefactors. And after that, I have another meeting with a religious order. And after that, I have a dinner appointment. Very busy.
Is there a special lady?
Special lady, if you want to call nuns.
Oh.
Special, yeah. Why not? Yeah, a group of nuns.
How was your day?
My day is busy as well. Just meetings with parents and benefactors and kids. And I understand I need to get some grades out to high schools so they know where to place people. So all that kind of stuff, and just keeping the school up and running. So it's a busy day. Starts at 7 and ends about 10. So, yeah, 10 p.m.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a long day.
Okay, we're going to get into the questions.
Okay.
How long have you been in your role?
Here at St. Mary's or as a priest?
Either.
Priest, I've been a priest for about 8 or 9 years. And then here at St. Mary's, I've been here for about 2.5 years.
And I have been a teacher for probably, well, if you count even what I'm doing today, 23 years, because I'm still teaching, sort of. 23 years. I was at Delaware St. Mary for 14, and then I was their principal after that for like 7 years, and now I'm here.
What did you teach?
Wow, I taught second grade, and then I taught 4th and 5th grade language arts and social studies, and then I moved up to 6th, 7th, and 8th grade language arts, social studies, and math. Yeah.
What was your favorite grade to teach?
I like 4th graders. I love Ohio history, love learning about that, and it's fun to teach that. It's just a lot of excitement and fun, and I like the kids that age. So I like middle schoolers too, though. They're fun.
That sounds great. How?
Great.
It's great.
That's right.
How long is training for becoming a priest or a nun?
So for a priest, it takes about 8 years, or sometimes even longer. So we don't just thump a Bible and say I'm a priest and wear a collar on our neck, right? So you need to go through school. So you need to get your high school degree. Then once you do that, you have to go through screening to make sure there's not anything wrong with you. You have to do it about 2 or 3 times. And after that, you have to go through undergrad. So you get a college degree. Usually it's in philosophy, so that's 4 years. And then it's another 4 years of getting a master's degree. So I have a couple of degrees. And then for sisters, for nuns, it takes even longer. So it takes about 12 years. So they want to make sure you know what you're becoming. So you become a novice, and then you move up to become a sister, a religious, because you're giving up a lot, right? Poverty, chastity, and obedience. So it's really a different life. Focusing yourself on Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm.
And why did you choose to?
For me, it wasn't my choosing. We believe that Jesus chooses all of us for a specific vocation, right? Single, married life, religious, or again, as a religious or a priest. And so I think Jesus chose me because I like helping people, and I like to help people encounter Jesus Christ. So when I was growing up, I was voted Mr. Nice Guy in school, right? And so because I was always there to try to help out people, but people knew that my family was very religious, and so they knew I had a faith aspect within me. So that's why I really wanted to do that. And again, with my parents' story of how they got here was really amazing. It was really good. Okay?
You want to do this? No. Did you have a favorite teacher or educator?
Educator. Probably my first grade teacher. Her name was Mrs. Spar, because
I do not remember any of the teachers.
Yeah, well, the reason why Mrs. Spar was my favorite teacher was because I was not a good kid growing up, and we moved schools. So we moved from Columbus to Westerville, and so Westerville was a new place, and so I hung out with the kids, and I did some bad things, and Mrs. Spar really set me in the right direction. So she was probably my favorite teacher. Mm-hmm.
And who is your guys' role model?
You want to go first?
Role model. I think being an educator and being a principal kind of Jesus. I mean, there are a lot of like really good educators that I've met along the way and gotten a chance to work with that have kind of inspired me to know the right way to teach kids and work with kids, but it's more than that. And I kind of was telling our ESL tutor that yesterday, that what makes us successful is that we love all of you guys, and we have a love for each and every one of you, no matter where you came from, how different you are, how differently you work or learn. And that's what makes St. Mary's special, is because we love you and care about you, and we're here to help you. And I think you learn that from Christ, that Christ surrounded himself with all kinds of people, and you have to love each and every one of them. So I think that's like my biggest influence. And my mom was like, she'd tell you straight, you're a mess, get it together. But we also knew she loved us, and she was telling us that because she wanted us to be a better person. And I think, she's up in heaven guiding me every day.
How about you, Father?
Same thing about Jesus, because he's my Lord and Savior. I would say the saints really helped me out. St. John the Baptist, because for him, he didn't really focus, the attention on him, but on Jesus. And then the other one would be St. Maria Goretti, about what she went through. But then she gave herself up to Christ, and then the big word for her is forgiveness. So that'd be good for the 8th graders to learn to look at St. Maria Goretti.
How did your parents influence you in your faith?
For me, they're a great testimony. So they left Vietnam in 1975, and my dad was actually sponsored by a family here in Guam. So he flew. He was a pilot, so he flew all the way to Guam. Was sponsored by a family in Columbus, and then my mother was supposed to be picked up by an American helicopter pilot, but she never got picked up. So she stayed in Vietnam for 2 years, and then she rode a boat down to Malaysia. So she was there for about 7 years. So my dad was trying to find my mother, couldn't find her, and then he had a revelation that he said a dream where he was praying that he needed to write to somebody in public office. So he wrote to Senator John Glenn, and then they found my mother in Malaysia at a Red Cross refugee camp. So they were reunited 7 years later. So yeah, my parents, they were really my influence in the faith, and so it was really good.
And I would say the same sorts of things. My dad was not Catholic when he met my mom. My mom was Italian, and that's kind of, like Latinos, that's kind of like you're just grown up in the faith. And we prayed all the time with her, and my dad converted, raised us all Catholic. And she just really always prayed for us and taught us to pray. And my mom passed away very young, and we thought my dad would be so sad. And, sometimes when bad things happen, we get mad at God and we think, God, why did you take that person from me? Or why did you do that for me? But my dad turned toward God and started going to church even more and praying even more. And I think that influenced me when I had bad times in my life to look for that outlet rather than being angry. God, there's something you want me to learn, something different you want me to do. Help me to do that. So they were just really faithful people, and we know God is good.
What is your validating moment that you had chosen the right vocation?
Wow, great question. So I think you guys also want me to talk about like married life and having children, and I think that I can say that I have a really happy marriage, and we get along really well. We've had some really tough times. I've had cancer and been very sick. I've not worked at times, and my husband was the only person working, so we really didn't have a lot of money. We had 2 babies, and I had problems when I was pregnant and couldn't have very many kids. And then after that, I decided I was going to be a teacher. And then I realized, you're all my kids. That's why I love you so much. I get 400 kids every day, which is maybe why God only gave me 2 of my own. And every day when I see you guys grow and listen and grow up and get better and get go to your high schools and those kinds of things. And I have kids come back to me who have graduated college and said, you were a huge influence. Then I know God is leading me, and I've made the right decision.
What about you?
The most validating moment for me was, I think, when I was ordained and helping the people that have seen me grown up, asking me for help as a priest. I think that was the most validating moment. To see people as a priest and to see me in a different light is truly humbling, because they see me as their cell phone to Jesus Christ. So for me, that was really validating. So I've seen marriages for my friends, I've seen deaths of parents and mentors. Just everything as what if you would think as a priest, just seeing them trust me is really something that's really, really awesome.
Father baptized my granddaughter.
And
that is such a great blessing to have a friend baptize her and bring her into the faith. So I know that generation will go on and on. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
What has been your most proud moment in your role?
Most proud moment in my role. Gee, that's tough because I have lots of them every day when I really reflect on each day. But I had a couple students come to me who went to Buckeye Valley High School after having me. They had me the year that I had cancer, and they were in the 8th grade. And they came to me and said, "We really want you to get better and go to DC with us." And that was my goal. And even though as sick as I was, I got better, went to DC with my wig on because I didn't have any hair. And when they graduated and they were in the National Honor Society, they honored me as the person who was most influential to them. So I think that's like validating for me. That's proud. That's a proud moment for me that they are successful and remember that I was part of helping them get there. Even though I didn't really think about it at the time, but I guess it was.
I think the proudest moment of my life was when I was made pastor of Corpus Christi St. Ladislas and St. Mary's, because it made me realize the scope of what I needed to do. Was that, again, my life is not my own, but now it's the entire south end of Columbus. So really trying to understand the degree, the brevity and the reality of understanding that I need to shepherd the people down here, and having the same kind of people really working with me to really try to unite the people and to understand that the focus now is trying to help people encounter Jesus in every single kind of situation, whether it's a school or the parish. So that's for me the proudest moment of my life.
What is the hardest part about your role, and what is the most fun part?
The hardest part is when I feel like I can't reach you and I can't help you get better. I can't help a teacher get better. Like there's just a block somewhere that we just can't get past, and that's the hardest part when I can't make a connection because I am a helper. You said the most fun part? Mm-hmm. Just seeing the kids every day and the funny things that you guys say and just seeing you happy and happy to be at school. That's the best part of the day. And being able to tell you about Christ and let you know there's somebody else with you each and every day that loves you.
Most hardest part for me is that you want to help everybody, but you just can't, right? You want everyone to be happy with you, but you can't. And that's really hard. And so for myself, again, I have to take it day by day, moment by moment, and say, you help the people that you can, and if you can't, you got to pray for them, because we all have to pray for each other. So that's the hardest part of my priesthood. The funnest part is to be with the kids, with all of you, the students at St. Mary's, and with other kids that I have in my parishes, because you are the future, not only for the church, but for the world. And again, with all the God-given talents that God has given to you, we're here to help you mold them and shape them so you can be future leaders.
How did it feel when you realized you were called to be a priest?
It was shocking. For me, I'm different in many ways, but for me, I actually took a break from seminary, because sometimes I thought maybe my parents were pushing me. And so what I did was that I dated, I had another job in the outside world, and then I just didn't feel fulfilled, so then I went back in. So for me, that's when, again, I realized when I took my break that I wasn't really called. So I left my job, left all that, and then came back into seminary.
Did you ever consider any other careers or vocations besides the one you have now?
Yep, I did. I was actually in advertising and marketing before. At first, I thought I wanted to be a radio person because I loved music and I wanted to be a DJ, be cool, be on the radio. And then I was learning that at Ohio State. Somebody said, you'd be great on TV, so become a news anchor. So I was learning to write. And I went all through school, got an advertising job. I was a writer, and it was boring, and I hated it, and I was sad all the time. and then I was just a mom, because that's what made me happy. And that's when my mom said, you should have been a teacher. And I thought, well, why aren't I teaching kids to write? I love to write. I'm going to teach kids to write. So So that was my other job. And it's really helped. It's helped me market our school and tell people how great we are and communicate that well. That's a really important part of my job.
And then for me, when I took my break from seminary, like I said, I worked in the outside world. So after I received a college degree in philosophy, I went to study more. So I have a business degree in marketing and business administration. And I have my MBA. I have a master's degree in business administration as well. So I was thinking I was either going to do a lot of banking or working for a firm. So I worked for Fifth Third and then also the Huntington. And so, again, making money just didn't really give me any fulfillment. So then I decided to help people in a different way.
What has been your most challenging obstacle for your vocation?
Right now is trying to face the realities of where we are as a church, right? We need to get younger, and we need to understand the realities of what we need to do. And so that's been the most challenging part, is trying to unite people together, because a lot of people seem to be divided.
Yeah. And I think, I guess, as you talk about being a principal, the hardest part is, just some of the things that I see you all face in your lives that I wish I could make different. That's the hardest part, to try to give you guys every opportunity and have you take every opportunity. It's just, there's not enough. As Father said, you can't help everybody. And I think that's the hard part. Our world is very hard today, and we want you to be on the loving side of that. So, yeah.
Well, that's all for the questions. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
You guys are great.